Almsgiving.
Zakat is a form of almsgiving. It came from Arabic root, meaning to purify. Zakat is considered a way to purify one's income and wealth from sometimes worldly, impure ways of acquisition. It is considered in Islam as a religious obligation, and by Quranic ranking, is next after prayer in importance. 8 heads of zakat are mentioned in the Quran. As one of the 5 pillars of Islam, zakat is a religious duty for all Muslims who meet the necessary criteria of wealth to help the needy. It is a mandatory charitable contribution, often considered to be a tax. The payment and disputes on zakat have played a major role in the history of Islam, notably during the Ridda Wars. Zakat on wealth is based on the value of all of one's possessions. It is customarily 2.5% of a Muslim's total savings and wealth above a minimum amount known as nisab each lunar year. The collected amount should be paid to the poor and the needy, orphans, widows, those to be freed from slavery, the aged who cannot work to feed themselves, those in debt, in the cause of Allah, and to benefit the stranded traveler. The Quran discusses charity in many verses, some of which relate to zakat. The word zakat, with the meaning used in Islam now, is found in the early Medinan surahs and described as obligatory for Muslims. It is given for the sake of salvation. It is believed those who give zakat can expect reward from Allah in the afterlife, while neglecting to give zakat can result in damnation. Zakat is considered part of the covenant between Allah Almighty and human. Allah settles this divine investment on a believer for him or her to pay it out to its divine designees, like a bond or a trust, upon that wealth's maturity date. When the believer complies, this alms payment protects the wealth from which it came from dissipating or being destroyed. It is mentioned, establish prayer and give zakat and bow with those who bow in worship and obedience, in verse number 43 of Surah Al-Baqarah. The amount of zakat to be paid by an individual depends on the amount of money and the type of assets the individual possesses. The Holy Quran does not provide specific guidelines on which types of wealth are taxable under the zakat, nor does it specify percentages to be given. However, it clearly indicates to donate the surplus of one's income. But the customary practice in the Islamic world has been that the amount of zakat paid on capital assets is 2.5%. Zakat is additionally payable on agricultural goods, precious metals, minerals, and livestock at a rate varying between 2.5% and 20%, depending on the type of goods. Zakat should not be given to one's own parents, grandparents, children, grandchildren, spouses, or the descendants of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The zakat is considered by Muslims to be an act of piety through which one expresses concern for the well-being of fellow Muslims, as well as preserving social harmony between the wealthy and the poor. Zakat promotes a more equitable redistribution of wealth and fosters a sense of solidarity amongst members of the Ummah. In societies where all taxpayers give their zakat, poverty, injustice in income distribution, jealousy, theft, and many crimes related to poverty decrease. Society becomes more peaceful.